It is the year 2020X. Well, I have to do it that way, folks, because it makes the show seem less dated when we finally put the show up. Actually, where we at is in Minnesota, but it's not your Minnesota. What are you talking about? It's not my Minnesota. What? No, it's a parallel dimension. Many years ago, there was a man known as Dark Milo. A man who sought revenge against Frater SH. See, there was a show known as Frater versus Retro. See, it was started by a man known as Frater SH who had made lots of occult books and lots of Christian books and lots of different things, but he got burned out. He just wanted the humble lifestyle of reviewing nostalgic Nintendo games from his youth. He wanted to retire in peace, just making angry reviews where you say the F word and the S word and the T word and all kinds of words. All kinds and kinds of words, but of course, you can't do that really anymore, I guess. Shit. Well, but nonetheless, folks, but back to our story here. Basically, what ended up happening was Frater SH kind of did the Frater versus Retro half-assed. He did it very half-assed. He had his co-hosts. He was only able to really do like a podcast with still frames because he just wasn't very good at the show. So what he did is he brought a bunch of friends on to do a podcast style show with video footage and silly pictures and things like that. First he had Gregory Peck, he had Pooh Guppy Adams, he had Peter Graves, and these four, and he had some other people, but they all disappeared. But nonetheless, he had devised a plan so he could basically quit doing the show. He didn't want to really do this stuff anymore. Frater wasn't very good at long-term things. Never good at long-term things. And then one day he decided, I'm gonna have this dojo train new students to take over the show. They're going to take over the show. These new four will like rise up, and I may even like personally have some training involved, and I'll be a teacher. That's cool, right? It's cool, guys, right? Nothing could go possibly wrong. Not like a student's going to just possibly, the best student in the class is just going to go insane. Actually, that's what happened. Basically, what ended up happening basically there was a student named Milo. And, he goes by another name, but you have to watch the new Frater versus Retro, the motion picture, to get the whole surprise story of who he is and why he did what he did. But basically, what happened was that he was the top student. He was the top pupil. He basically killed the rest of the students. Yeah, he just killed them all with a lightsaber. And and he decided to don a big dark outfit, not because he had any he wasn't like Darth Vader or something where he had to have to wear that outfit. He just did it because he thought it looked cool. He basically became friends with a man named Sergeant who looks like John Banner from Hogan's Heroes. Beloved Hogan's Heroes. So basically, folks, he for some reason he was able to develop a space Nazi army. But what it was is he had developed a means to go to different dimensions. And basically by doing this, he was able to he was basically able to create his own worlds and his own conditions. Well, he wanted revenge against Frater's H, of course, because what happened was Frater had promised him the show because he was the best student and he was going to be the new host. But then when Frater realized, he got phone calls saying about how this one student had gone absolutely insane, batshit crazy, and this was the end of the whole idea because this guy's nuts. He's crazy. He's wearing a crash helmet. He's a crazy crash helmet, black outfit, and acting like a Nazi. And he's got Joe Banner. He's he's the sergeant guy. This is just totally crazy, man. You can't have that on YouTube or whatever video platforms. Many platforms out there. But he, nonetheless, Frater, he beat him down. He beat him down very good. And, he really beat him down good. Depends on what version of the Frater versus Retro movie you see, though, because sometimes that beating is hilariously done with copyrighted footage, and then other times just with video game footage. So, nonetheless, to be speaking, Frater, what happened was Milo afterwards, he finally got his revenge because he developed a time breach weapon known as a little redneck man known as Billy, and it's basically a disguise for the weapon. But it makes the weapon very hard to use if an enemy got a hold of the weapon, because Billy's really stupid. You're about to see. So what is it with the show? Well, basically, what happened was the Big Four had been taken out of their dimension and put into this new dimension. And this is a dimension totally devised by Dark Milo. And, it's a parallel dimension, meaning is, like, for example, you could have your favorite restaurant in one location, and then it's replaced by something totally different. That's some serious stuff. That's life-changing stuff. So basically, eventually, nonetheless, the Big Four were able to finally defeat Milo and destroy him. Billy made sure that his army disappeared, and it's just all good, right? I mean, there's no reason the new Frater versus Retro should ever exist, right? Well, we have kind of a problem here. The Big Four that were originally from our dimension are actually still over there. They're not in their own dimension. They never left. They never left. So, what does this mean? It means this show's not over. It's not over by a long shot. We're not entirely sure, folks, how long this show's going to go. So this little prelude to the show is about over. And, we're going to have to see what happens. But what you're seeing on your screen should be as a nice picture of a nice wilderness in Minnesota. Lovely, lovely Minnesota. And there is a cabin. A beautiful little log cabin. And there in that log cabin is two rednecks. And they are right now going for a video game collection. Because you see, what you don't understand is, folks, is these two men is Glenn Farfinger and Billy. Glenn Farfinger and Billy were originally the ones that brought back Frater versus Retro. I mean, originally the four were just in limbo. And then just by Billy basically mentioning their names, it brought them all back into that dimension. Or did it? Well, we're not entirely sure the full truths of all this. And that's what this series is going to do. Now, back to what these two guys are doing. They've been, if you don't, I'm sure very few of you have seen the original show. So they have been given the blessing. They are now in control of the Frater versus Retro isn't really called Frater versus Retro anymore. It's now called Farfinger Gaming. Farfinger Gaming. And although the episodes you see on your screen, don't worry, they're still called New Frater vs. Retro, but you'll soon find out that any kind of show from this universe can exist under one banner. So it gets interesting. So basically, Billy and Glenn are going through looking for some games, and well, let's see here, huh? Billy, I don't know. I think we should play some NHL 95.
Well, NHL 95. I really love that game. That's some great stuff.
You know, Billy, we're in charge now of this show, and I have to admit, I haven't really done anything to actually shut up the show at all. Hey, Billy. Hey there, Billy. What do you think about that,
Oh, Glenn, I have to say it's a humdinger thing.
It's a very big humdinger thing. But, it's funny, the folks at home at YouTube and,
that time we did the show, it was like in Vidme or something, like,
yeah, it's just really strange stuff, oh, Billy, it's so cold out there. So cold, it was like 24 degrees out in the St. Johnsonville area.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about there, my tractor, it's just like, I tried to get the tractor started, it just wouldn't go.
Oh, yes, Billy, that start up there in my nose there, it just all froze up. And, Mr. Clydesville, he was, his teeth there, he couldn't even find the rest of his teeth because they're all lost in the snow. Oh, yes, Billy, I mean, he's going to have to really try hard to find his teeth, and all lost in the snow like that. He's going to have to wait at least a couple years or something. We're probably like on some kind of like we got this glacier coming through, Minnesota area right now, and we're probably going to need to wait another 1,000 years before he finds his teeth, But nonetheless,
hey, Glenn, there's something kind of fascinating going on outside.
Billy, this is giving me some PSB or something, Pibs. What was it? Billy, what did they say when you're scared or something?
I think they call that a Mr. Pibbs.
That sounds like that, Mr. Pibbs. I'm having a Mr. Pibbs moment right now, Billy. And, see, we got a problem here. Last time you said that, there was this angry guy called Gregory Peck, and he banged on our door, and he was all confused, he didn't even know where he was. And Billy, you remember, we need to really talk about this.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting kind of weird outside, but we got some time to talk about it. I mean, maybe it's time to talk about it.
Well, oh my, glory. Okay, so basically what happened was after Dark Milo got defeated, these four guys, Frater Sage, Pogapi Adams, Peter Graves, Gregory Peck, they kind of all went their own way. Like,
didn't Gregory Peck and didn't Gregory Peck go like crab fishing or something up in Alaska or something? He wanted to do something like Deadliest Catch. Remember that show that probably nobody ever watches anymore? He's probably not on TV anymore.
Yeah, Billy. Yeah, I remember that. And then Peter Graves was just never. I guess he was going to just go off to crack Ohio and film brand new episodes of biography. You know, that's just his thingamajog. That's a thing. And then Pukapi Adams said he had his car garage and all that, and that's something else. And then Frater. You know what, Frater? I don't. Frater just said he was off to do some kind of job or something, but I haven't heard anything from those four. Hey, I hate to tell you, there's like a dark figure heading towards our cabin, and he looks pissed. And bam, 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 bam. Knock, knock, knock. Oh, hey, Billy. Billy, you know what kind of sound that is. Yeah, it's just the sound of maybe possibly a Gregory Peck or Billy opener. BAM! The door is broken open. The two are shocked. It's Gregory Peck. Gregory Peck is so pissed. Yeah! You two imbeciles, get out of my way! Damn it! We got problems here, Glenn. And you too, Billy. You got some questions. I got questions you two have not told me about this dimension. Wait, dimension? What? But Billy, didn't you remember? Those four aren't from this dimension. Everything's different here compared to where they came from. It's different, all right. You know where I've been? Billy, Billy, why did you just call me Billy? I'm sorry, Glenn. You can call me Glenn. You can make up for things. Okay, so Mr. Graves, tell us everything from the beginning. All right. Okay, you imbeciles, hey, dumbasses. You want to hear the story? You're going to hear a story. Okay, so what happened was, after we had our saga, there's space opera there. You know that whole space opera? Oh, yeah, it was great stuff. Well, Billy, not a lot of people saw that, so don't worry. I think it's great to our own hearts. That's about it. Okay, so first off, we gotta talk. We got a problem here, guys. Okay, so this is what happened after we all left. Okay, so I left. I went to the Bering Straits because I said I was going to have a crab boat. I always want to have a crab boat and I can yell at people all day. That's something me, Gregory Peck, does. I was in Moby Dick, so it made sense. It all made sense, damn it. Okay, so the first sailors, showed up to the boat. First fishermen. Yeah. Billy, stop. Okay. You guys are gonna listen to me because I don't understand what's going on here. Maybe it's because I'm an old man. Maybe the old dementia stuff is maybe all that's setting in. Okay. So these guys are all smiley face and nice and happy, and I'm like, oh god, they're just all happy. But the thing I sort of notice is they're just happy all the time. I'm just abusing them, like sometimes like one guy would like say the right. No, like that's the thing is, these guys wouldn't really talk, no matter how hard I tried. What do you mean? Billy, they weren't talking at all. What do you mean? I mean, like they're not like real people? Oh, these were not real people. And that's when they did actually speak. and when it came out of their mouths, it was just frightening. They talked backwards. Glenn, we've lived in this world our lives. I mean, we've been around, Milo, the Empire. We've been around these guys. We've been around. We've been around the clones. Remember that? All those clones. Everyone spoke pretty normal. I mean, even the crazy spoonies and all those crazy characters. Even they kind of spoke perfectly fine. I can understand them. Oh, Billy, yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, what is going on out there? What is going on? I really don't know, Billy. I don't know. Well, that's when I realized that we got big problems here. Okay, so I did away with the whole crap boat thing because I was disturbed. I just parked it somewhere, and the guys were just smiling. They're all waving goodbye, and I just grabbed my things and just ran. And they're just still waving off in the distance, just on a boat that's just floating. And I just went, this is something wrong here. So I went to the nearest village, nearest town in Alaska, actually. And basically, everyone in that town was the same way. Oh no. No. Glenn, yeah. And then I said, all right, I'm throwing in the towel. I'm heading back to Crackton, Ohio. You heard me? Crackton, Ohio. The home of Elmer's Tainted Horse Meat Snacker Shack. And I know, if anyone was paying attention, I know we were, that Pookapi Adams told us, listen, Crackton, Ohio got blown up by TIE fighters. I know what you're going to say. Like, what? Yes, it happened. And so, as I made my way, I'm telling you what, folks, every single person I found on my way back to Crackton, they all looked that same way as those guys from the boat. All looked crazy. All looked happy, super happy, and talking backwards. But they would barely try to talk it like that when they were around me, but they kind of did. It's sort of like they were NPCs. Hey, that's what they usually call them, NPCs, yeah. Billy, this isn't right. So, there's all these questions I have, and the reality is, when I got to Crackton, that's when I really set in that Pookapi Adams actually warned us in an early episode that Crackton, Ohio is gone. It doesn't exist in this dimension. Oh, Billy, I mean, Billy, remember that? Yeah, I remember that. It was like, what was it called? It's called Slapton. It's called Slapton. Oh, yeah, that's right, Billy. It's called Slapton now. Oh, I mean, well, of course it was always Slapton, and guys, it's never supposed to be a Slapton. There's never supposed to be a Slapton. There's no Slapton in my vocabulary. But nonetheless, that's Crackton. That's basically what Crackton's supposed to be, a mirror image of Crackton. So I'm over there. I understand it. The place looked like shit, and Crackton always did, but you need to understand, you have to understand, getting basically attacked by TIE fighters, half the buildings are burned down and destroyed, and there's been very little attempts to try to make some kind of repairs of the structure of it. Gas stations, all the gas stations, everything's on fire. Elmer's tainted horse meat doesn't exist anymore, by the way. It never existed on this dimension. It's now called Petey's tainted Petey's tainted turtle meat. That's right. Tainted. Petey's tainted horse meat. Well, Billy, it's Petey's tainted horse. Why, you two idiots, stop it! This is not funny. Listen, I can't. I'm going to go insane. This dimension is messed up. So you expected. Look, guys, I'm not going to joke to you at home. The whole point of everything you saw the last few years was to never do this again. It was never to do this again. We're stuck in some dimension. This is not over. This is not over by a long shot. Okay. We gotta ask the question. And also, Billy, I have to really congratulate you. You're really standing out. I mean, before you could just say maybe 2 words a show, but now you're really standing out. Oh yeah. I mean, he's really doing a pretty good job. He's doing a pretty good job, Gregory Peck. I mean, he's really standing out for himself. And, but I'm gonna warn you something. What is it? Listen, well, you ask for strategy, but I think we all know what the strategy is. All we need to do is have Billy, take me, Frater, Pooh Guppy, and Peter Graves back home, isn't it? Well, I have bad news. I really kind of try to experiment, see, Billy. If I could still, I don't think Billy could even, the strategies we used to make him do what he did, I don't think it'll work anymore, because Billy's brain is constantly kind of, changing, and I kind of afraid that this wasn't going to be easy. It would be suffering. Okay, so, you mentioned a strategy, or, well, the most obvious thing is we all have to head back to Slapton. I'm sorry, I know this is a beautiful place you got by a lake and all that, but we gotta get back to Slapton, and there is a studio located that wasn't attacked by the TIE fighters, and, it has, as you should know, it has a studio. And I think that's where, and I thought I found a sign that said biography is being recorded. Of course, at the time, I didn't really want anything to do with Peter Graves. I was just trying to figure this whole crap out for myself. I just thought that maybe everyone up in Alaska was just kind of crazy in this dimension, so I just went, it can't be like that all around. But it is all around. So we need to go there. We need to find Peter Graves again. And yes, I'll say it, and you're going to think I'm insane. We need to find Pooh Guppy Adams. Uh-oh. Yeah, I hope you haven't, bought any brand new cars or anything, because last we knew he had a car, an auto body that put concrete up the tailpipes of vehicles. So, it was my poor Studebaker. I love that Studebaker. But, okay, so then, of course, the big question is, once we find those two, Frater, you guys know what happened to Frater? He said he was going to do some kind of job at the time, and, he when he was leaving, he said something to me about, enjoy what you do, because someday you may never want to do anything again. Do it again. What was that, Billy? He may not want to do it ever again. Uh-oh. Frater's been known to be kind of a hermit on and off. He may have just decided to just go off somewhere and disappear. Okay, so you guys, I'm not gonna go right away. All right. You were given the show. I know. The first time when you did this, I took it from you because it wasn't fair. You guys didn't. You weren't given the green light by Frater. Now you're given the green light, so I'm just gonna let you do your show. What's the name of it? Well, actually, Glenn, since I showed up, I noticed your voice. You're having some issues with your voice.
It's because generally his voice is a little too much like yours, and I think he's trying not to confuse people at home.
I noticed that. Okay, Glenn, come on. Spit it up. Well, with Billy here, our new show is called Farfinger Gaming. Farfinger Gaming? Well, that works in this new century. I mean, that's like a meme quality stuff right there. Farfinger Gaming. It reminds me from Jabberwocky. There was a character called Fishfinger. That's that Farfinger. That's something that works. Okay. Well, I'll let you guys get to your show, dear.